It can be done.
It can. For us, it would be weird if we wasn't working together. You know, we've been in the industry so long together, but it's weird if, you know, we're not working together. And plus, we genuinely enjoy each other's company. Yes. Wow. For us, it's easy because I like this chick right here. I like me some her. Lord.
I like me some him.
So, you know, the advice I would give is don't bring home to work.
Yes.
Because, you know, if she gets mad at me, she doesn't bring that to work. Yes. And I get mad at her, I bring it to work. No, I don't bring that to work. You know, we just leave that, you know,
let's separate the two. We've learned to separate the two where we don't, and you can't see that. So if we did have an argument, Roger would never have known.
Yeah, wow.
It's true.
Just the other day, I said, do y'all ever argue? Because I mean, I've literally known them for over 10 years, and I've never seen them argue. And they were like, yeah, you just don't see it.
Right.
Which is great. Because it was just weird. You know, they played father and daughter, but they would walk around and say kissing and hugging. I'm like, I just can't take
and
this.
And she didn't like that. She was like, this don't feel right.
Well, I said, the next show we do is you got to play husband and wife. And they come up, well, David, you explain that.
And we wanted to show, because we're a blended family in real life. I say we're a super blended family. Tamela and I have 2 together, and I have, you know, 2 from previous arguments. And so my kids are and we're raising a niece. So we wanted to do a show where we talk about blended families and how to, you know, make that whole dynamic of a blended family work. So we wanted to create a show that kind of showed it.
Yeah.
With the divorce rate as high as it is, we have a lot of people that are, you know, married into blended families. And this speaks in one episode we have where Tamela's character, Tony, is talking to DJ, and DJ said, I don't need another mother. And so she had to kind of, you know, bridge the gap of, I'm not trying to take the place of your mother. I'm just trying to show you that, you know, I'm going to love you just as well as my kids. So we wanted to speak, that's kind of stuff we speak to in you know, this sitcom.
And it comes from a real place. So I think that's what it's going to really touch your heart in that area, that, for one, that you're not alone. And dealing with blended families and 2 different, you know, sets of parents, grandparents, because it goes on and on when you have a blended family.
The baby mama drama is real.
And daddy drama. So,
yes.
So it's a good thing. Again, I just think it comes from a real place that a lot of us are dealing with, and the issues that we're dealing with our families.
All right.
And it blended meaning we're coming together and we're trying to blend seamlessly where you can't tell whose kids is who, because the love is love. And one thing I grew up to realize and said, if I have ever had to deal with that situation, is never make a child feel like their step. Yeah. And I show, you know, one of my daughters is here now. Portia's here. I was there when she was born as David's best friend, but she's my baby. You know, she shows no difference. But at 8 years old, she told me, Mama, when you introduce me, don't introduce me as your stepdaughter. Just introduce me as your daughter.
Wow.
And once she told me that, I took that to heart to really understand that she just wants to be my daughter and not separate. So it makes it a great thing when you really put your heart in it and love somebody else's kid like your own. Because when you take on that man or you take on that woman, you're taking on everything. They're as a family. It's not his kids, her kids, mine and yours, but you take care of the needs. I know I'm giving you a lot, but you take care of the needs as if you know it was your child. Whoever needed the most, that's who I took care of. It didn't matter if it was the one that I birthed or somebody else birthed. They're my kids, so that's how I do it.
She's the best. She's the best at that. She deserves a great round of applause for being the greatest mom.
Yeah. Unless they're real bad.
Joking. You come out real bad. It comes with September.